Hello guys, welcome to B2 Chess. I think that no one would ever argue that Anatoly Karpov is one of the best ever to play the game of chess. His style was purely positional and for me was absolutely breathtaking. He was also very good at some tactical solutions to the position, but his ability to suck the life out of his opponent, out of the position of his opponent, and leave them with no choice but to resign, I mean, that's truly magnificent. And today, in this new series that we decided to call In the Style of, we are going to look through one of his most memorable and remarkable games, and then I'm going to play, well, try to play in the same way as he did, and try to be as magnificent as he was over the board. So let's begin. Okay guys, so here we are. It's a game played by Anatoly Karpov against Wolfgang Unzika. I think, well, I hope it was at least remotely correct. So, it was the game played in 1974, and to me, even though there wasn't, some crazy sacrifice, like, we all know the Golden Coin games. I mean, many examples from romantic era of chess. But to me, despite not having these kind of things, to me it's one of the best games, maybe the best game for me that I have ever seen. Okay, so let's start. We have e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. That's the Spanish opening or the Ruy Lopez. We have a6, more fee defense. Bishop retreats to a4, knight f6, castles, bishop e7, rook e8. As you can see, it's all theory. b5, bishop b3, d6, c3, preparing d4, castles, h3 to prevent any knight g4s, bishop g4s. Restricting move. I mean, it's all theory, but this move already kind of like very Karpov's style. Knight a5, a popular maneuver trying to capture this bishop. This bishop here is standing very well. This positioning on c2 might not be as good, but still, as you can see, what I was speaking in the yesterday's video, knight on the edge of the board is not a good piece, so we have to preserve our bishop. So that's exactly why Karpov in this position plays bishop c2, and that's exactly why some moves ago we played c3, not only to prepare d4, but also to have this square to retreat with our bishop. Okay, so we go back, bishop c2, c5, and d4. Well, we've prepared this move a long time ago. Queen supports it, pawn supports it, knight supports it, so might as well play it. 27, all theory, knight bd2, slowly improving our pieces. Knight c6, because as I said, knight on the edge of the board is not a good piece. Knight c6 and d5. So he closes the center, and as you can see, knight already doesn't have a lot of good squares. I mean, going back to a5 doesn't seem like a good option. Knight b8, I mean, if you go knight b8, then go, I don't even know. This knight is just terrible. I mean, going to a7, you don't have any moves. Going to b8, you have knight a7, but after that, there are no future prospects. So, in this position, Wolfgang Unzika plays knight d8. Actually, for my eye, and the computer agrees with me, white is already like quite a bit better, because look at this knight. It can go to b7, then to a5, and then what? It can't go to e6, can go to c6. I mean, this d5 pawn is just neutralizing this knight completely. So that's already like the start of Unzika's problems. So he allowed himself to kind of be like boxed in. Okay, so we finish theory there, and Karpov plays a4. a4 to, if Unziker takes, activate his rook, down the open file, and he'll probably have a good time. Rook b8, expecting Karpov to take, which he does, 8x b5, 8x b5, and already an open file for the rook, very pleasant situation. And now Karpov plays b4. Well, b4 seems like a very logical move to me. I have to say that, I have to admit that. I don't know why it's an inaccuracy. Computer suggests c4, but to my eye c4 doesn't look as good, because if c4 and takes, you open the file for your opponent's rook. So I don't really like this move. I wouldn't play this move, and choosing between c4 and b4, I would probably also play b4. Not only because I like Karpov's style and I would like to play like him, but to my eye it's just better. So b4, knight goes to b7 once again. Computer says that it's a good move, but knight on b7 is not better than knight on d8. I must say that. I mean, can go to a5, you can only return to d8 to once again be repelled by this pawn. So yeah, knight f1, a very useful move, because as you can see, this knight also doesn't have a good role. I mean, it can go to b3, but I mean, and then what? So Karpov correctly evaluates that his knight right now is the worst piece, and he can improve it via f1 and then g3, or maybe f1 and h2, and he'll have a better knight, a better position for the knight. So he plays knight f1, which is the best move. Bishop d7, slowly improving, because as you can see, the bishop is already restricted very much, so it can only go to d7, because e6, f5, g4, it will be captured. So very useful move, and you can already see the prospects of Unzicker being like totally caged here, without any chance of survival. So okay, bishop d7. I mean, if we just briefly flip the board, you're black here. What do you do? The position is so unpleasant, I don't even know what I would play here. I mean, bishop d7, okay, it's the first thing that comes to your mind. I mean, also, I don't even know which plans you can have here. I mean, knight h5, knight e4, I don't know. It just doesn't seem right. Okay, so knight f1, bishop d7, bishop e3. Well, bishop e3 also seems logical, although the computer wants to improve this bishop, going bishop to d3, which also makes sense, I must say. Actually, there are like 3 moves that I would look at: bishop e3, bishop d3, and knight g3. I mean, these are the moves that I would look at, but I'm at 1600, and Anatoly Karpov is the world champion. I mean, was the world champion. So he played bishop e3 here. Rook a8, trying to trade the rooks. I mean, it's like the only active piece that the black have here. So just wants to trade, put his rook in the open file. Maybe double up if Karpov allows it. So will he allow it? Let's see. Queen d2. I mean, the computer wants queen e2, but once again, what's the difference? I mean, in this position, I actually like how the queen teams up with the bishop, potentially, to attack, or maybe if black tries to be like restrictive, maybe to sacrifice and start an attack. So queen e2 I wouldn't play like ever. I don't understand this move. So whatever. Queen d2, rook fc8, good move, supporting the queen. And maybe if this file ever opens up with cb4, cb4, this battery here will be very effective. Bishop d3, g6. Well, bishop d3 is very much provoking c4. So c4, attacking this bishop and making this little chain. But Unseeker decided not to do this. Instead, he played g6. Well, g6 I don't really understand because, well, actually I don't understand it like at all. I would play c4 here and without even thinking, but I mean, he's a 2500 rated guy. So knight g3, that's exactly the reason why we put the knight on f1. Bishop f8, trying to reroute our bad bishop to g7, or maybe, well, actually it will never go to h6 because of this scary battery, so yeah, bishop g7 is the spot. Rook a2, trying to double up, very logical move. c4 now, attacking the bishop. Bishop drops back to b1, although this move I would never make, because I'll explain my logic. Bishop b1 to me is a bad move, because you lose the ability to double up quickly. I mean, bishop c2, keeping it relatively simple, but bishop b1, I think it's a little bit too sophisticated of a move. So bishop b1 played. There are some inaccuracies, but I mean, who can be perfect every time? Queen d8. Queen d8, I mean, potentially moving the knight and activating the queen, I get it. Okay, so I mean, once again, Unseeker doesn't have a lot of good options here because once again, flip the board. I mean, the situation got a little bit better, but still there aren't many opportunities to somehow activate your position. There are some limits by Karpov's style of play. So Unseeker is having a really rough time trying to somehow activate his position. He plays the move queen d8 to somehow once again move the knight and put the queen in the better spot. And here I should have like preserved this move, because to me this move is just, I don't know, it's like a masterpiece that you would find in a Louvre. Because we take a look at this position. Let's do this. I mean, how can black possibly activate his pieces? I mean, the rook, although it looks pretty nice, what is it doing? It's staring in its own pawn. It has no chance of doubling up because the pawn covers. This rook is the only active piece, but so is this rook. So it's kind of like they're negating each other. Queen, I mean, there aren't many safe squares for it, and we've just played queen d8 for some future prospects, so queen will need one, maybe two, maybe three moves to get active. This bishop, I don't even want to talk about it. Can't go to h6. Going to g7 is maybe an option, but what will it do here? I mean, it's just this bishop feels like a person is in a packed bus. I mean, it has absolutely no options to get active. This bishop has absolutely no safe squares if you're not taking e8 into the account. But why would you go bishop e8? So, and this knight also can't go anywhere. If you go to h5, I mean, why would you go to h5? We'll just take and damage your structure. If you retreat, I mean, you don't have any future prospects at all. So this position is completely terrible for Unseeker. So Karpov uses his moment to just put Unseeker in such an uncomfortable spot. So he turns off, he notices that his rook on a8 is the only active piece, so he completely shuts his opponent's chances of counterplay by playing the move. Are you ready? Bishop a7. I mean, computer, shut up. What do you mean rook takes a8? To activate the rook? No. I mean, Karpov can't allow any sort of counterplay. That's the way he plays. Potentially chances to double up and dominate this file. I mean, so many ideas here, and just bishop a7, such a counterintuitive move. but such a great move to me, despite not being like a crazy sacrifice or a sacrifice of, I don't know, a queen that allows a checkmate. To me, this is one of the best moves that I have ever seen. I mean, that's exactly why I like Karpov's playing style. That's exactly why I want to play like him. Because look at this beauty. Look at this beauty. Bishop a7. I mean, come on, dude. Okay, Bishop a7. I can't even emphasize how great this move is. Bishop a7, knight e8, trying to activate the knight, but where? To a6, and then what? Completely like, I mean, Unzicker is just boxed in, you know. Bishop c2, and moreover, when you're boxed in like this, it's very tough to figure out what the best move is. I mean, seriously, you can't activate anything. If you push the pawns to gain space, you're probably like shooting yourself in the foot. So, I mean, you don't have any opportunities, and that's exactly why Unzicker starts to move by move, little by little, going wrong. So bishop c2 played to double up. Knight c7. I mean, no prospects for knight either. And he doubles up, finally finishing his idea of playing the bishop to a7 move in the first place, because he wants to dominate the open file. As I've said multiple times, dominating the open file will really help you and help you to restrict your opponents to the maximum. So queen e7, once again, a move out of desperation because he has no choices, no better choices. Bishop b1, I don't really understand. I mean, this move, okay, it's like, you know, finding, I don't know, I can't even find an analogy. Because Karpov so far played one of the best games I've ever seen, and this bishop b1 move, I don't even understand. I mean, if you're going to move the bishop somewhere, I mean, go to d1, move the knight to h2, then activate your bishop somehow and put the knight back. So that's my vision of the situation, but I mean, once again, he's a world champion and I'm a random guy. So okay, bishop b1. I hope that Karpov somewhere explained this move because I'm not able to understand it. Bishop e8, knight e2, once again activating the knight somehow. Maybe, actually no, but I'm sure that Karpov has some ideas, and of course the best move of the position. I mean, I think personally that Karpov is the best ever player, like positionally wise. I mean, maybe this move doesn't show it, but overall his ability to understand where his opponent's counterplay might be and his understanding of where he should be aggressive and where he should be like more reserved. I mean, it's simply outstanding. Okay, so knight d8, knight to h2, bishop g7. You see, Unzicker goes wrong, but you can't even blame him for that because he has absolutely no chances of like creating any sort of counterplay, because his position is like dead, absolutely dead, no activity whatsoever. So if Karpov doesn't mess this up, he's gonna win. He can't lose this game. He basically can't. f4, trying to crack this side of the board. A very logical decision, because he's the only one who can potentially create any sort of counterplay. Not counterplay, but play at all. So we have f6. Karpov restricts his opponent even more by playing f5 and gaining the space. Because, you see, we're told not to push the pawns in front of our king because it will negatively affect the safetiness of our king. But in this case, I mean, how can black possibly attack our king? How can black possibly get to it? I mean, they can't even activate their pieces. So why would they even think about attacking? So g5 here. So it's a mistake, and I can probably even explain this because if you're getting caged, I mean, why are you helping the process of caging yourself? It's so strange. I mean, g5, I would just play g4, but is g4 a bad move? Is it? Oh no, it's the best move, because as you can see, this bishop is just, you know, he can only like go back and then return, and it has absolutely no purpose. This bishop is totally shut down. The queen, I don't even want to talk about it. The rooks are very passive thanks to this bishop, and the knights, I mean, total constrict. I'm running out of words for this game. I mean, look at this position. How can you break out? You can't. You just can't. It's impossible. And that's what Karpov did to his opponents. But okay, return to g5, bishop c2, probably going to d1 and then activating like this. Bishop f7, knight g3. I mean, I can only imagine the frustration of Wolfgang Unziker here, because he looks at his position and goes, I hate this guy. I mean, come on. How can you be so disrespectful to me? I mean, at least give me some source of card play. I mean, what the hell, man? Okay, bishop d1, as promised. Trying to activate the bishop. h6, bishop h5, of course. It was the only piece that Karpov had which wasn't like playing. So he trades it, and Wolfgang Unziker goes queen 8, forcing the capture, but Karpov says no, you can only trade on my terms. Knight d8, rook a3. I mean, it's kind of like a move to spend some time, as the position of white will just self-destruct eventually. King f8, rook 1 a2, king g8. I mean, you can already see how bad the position is, because the Unziker has to shuffle his king back and forth, and it's the best move. I mean, not the best, but one of the best moves. And here, Karpov plays knight g4. I don't really understand. Oh no, I do understand. It's given the brilliant move mark, because if you take... Wait, actually, let's have a little bit of a puzzle rush. Take, because you blocked your queen's path. I take on h5, and if you take the free knight, you get killed. If knight takes f6, check, you take, and the queen is left without protection. This is obviously winning. Of course, 2500 guy didn't allow this, so he played king f8, knight e3. We successfully rotated the knight to a better square. So king g8, once again shuffling back and forth. The position is +6, and it's not even clear where Unziker went wrong. It's just Karpov's style, you know. It's just unbelievable what he did to his opponents. Bishop takes f7, getting rid of his bad bishop. Next, knight takes f7, queen h5, queen infiltrating very dangerously. Knight d8, yes, knight d8, queen g6, f8, knight h5, and here Wolfgang Unziker, despite not being down anything, just resigned. I mean, just look at this position from Black's perspective. I mean, that's what Unziker had to witness, had to look at, and go like, oh my gosh, what has this guy done to me? I mean, even in the final position, the knights are totally shut down. The rooks are just standing like, I don't know, two stupid idiots, and without any plans in life. And this bishop, I mean, just the pawns are just blocking in the bishop. I mean, what can you do with this? So yeah, just an amazing display of skill by Anatoly Karpov. He just strangled his opponent to death, and as you can see, that's why I called him the best positional player in my opinion, because he's not, once again, the kings. I mean, I can't say that this king is in some grave danger. You can just play something like, I don't know, Queen e7, you won't get mated, everything will be fine, but positionally, it's positionally plus 7.4. That's how bad of position Karpov made for his opponent. So yeah, and so to recap, I mean, what can we, which traits can we possibly take from this game to somehow describe Anatoly Karpov? I mean, the bow constrictor, of course, is the best description. Just sucks the life from his opponent, and that will be it. And so he understood where his opponent's counterplay might be, and he just shut it all down. Just completely gave no chance of survival, and that's the way he hit absolutely everybody, not named Garry Kasparov. Okay, so that will be it for the recap of this game, and now we move on to the interesting part. I'm going to try to play like Anatoly Karpov, using the principles that he used in his games, and we'll see what happens. Okay guys, so it's actually my second attempt on playing a game like Anatoly Karpov. Last game was such a disgrace that I don't even want to show it. So what have we learned from the game against Unzikler in 1974? Well, Karpov's main aim was to restrict his opponent's play. It's maybe his priority wasn't even to like have better pieces. He just wanted his opponent to have worse pieces. So that's exactly what we're aiming for. And I'll try to be instructive and try to explain every single move. So we face an opponent from Norway. E4, let's play, well, actually, let's play e5, because Karpov wouldn't open the center, because I wanted to play d5. That's actually my favorite opening. Well, one of my favorite openings. But no, he plays the Vienna. Okay, let's play knight f6. Knight f6, Vienna gambit. Oh, I know that. I have to play d5. It's a very tricky position, you know. There aren't many moves that will get you in a good position, so d5 it is. He takes d5, which I don't like, is that we open up the center very quickly. So what is the move here? Okay, let's go here. He takes. Let me play. Well, I take, I damage his structure. Then we go knight c6, and slowly but surely we will take this pawn back, or will we? Okay, so let's play knight c6 first. Development is the key. Knight f3. Spin the knight, while simultaneously activating our pieces. So we already like can restrict movement. It's quite pleasant for us. We will win this pawn back soon. Have a great time. I'm predicting something like h3 right now, but no, he plays bishop b5. Bishop b5, so... Well, I know what a truly Karpov's move would be here, and I'm gonna play it right now. Bishop c5. Not allowing our opponent first of all to castle, while simultaneously attacking, not attacking, but activating the pieces. Okay, so he took and played d4. What am I going to do right now? Of course I'm going to retreat, because my bishop is a very good piece. Okay, so well, we've got some problems here. No, although no, wait. Yeah, we certainly have problems here. Wait a second. Here. If he takes with the queen, I take the pawn, right? Right. If he takes with the pawn, that's bad. How can I be like worse? Let's evaluate this position. My bishop, this bishop, probably equal, because you see, not much scope. Pawn structure, I'm worse. Space, worse. Activity of the pieces, probably a little bit better. King safety. Yeah, not good. Not good at all. Play castle. Yeah, it's kind of like a waiting move, you know, at the moment. It takes. Should I take with the queen or the pawn? You see, the pawn structure for me is less important than activity of the pieces. So I'm going to play queen takes d5. Now this pawn is hanging. We play c3. That's understandable. Now I'm going to play rook a to d8, as we want to continue to apply pressure and slowly but surely increase our advantage. So he plays queen d3, activates the queen. Wait, that's a bad move actually, because now I use my damaged pawn structure against him. I play c5. Let's count a little bit. c5, here, cd, cd. Wait, c5 here. I take, he takes. Takes. Okay, so c5 is a good move anyway. It will probably lead into some kind of endgame where many things will be determined by our pawn structure. Okay, so I have an opportunity to win the pawn back, because let's count. Bishop takes f4. Let's say rook takes f4. cd4, cd4. Bishop here, here. Well, I think this endgame will be better for me. I'll explain why. It will be a rook endgame with me having a more active rook. So that's basically the subtlety of Karpov's playing style. So I think that what Karpov would have done is gone here, because we win our pawn back with cd4. Yeah, we take, check, forcing him to recapture. We take with check, forcing him to recapture. And see, now we have the sequel endgame, but his pawns, especially this one, is it's very vulnerable. Second of all, I have the open file, and I'll double up. And these pawns might seem a little big, but we'll find a way to cope with it. Okay, so we have decision here. I can play rook e8 to attack the pawn and potentially go f6, or I can play rook d8. Rook d8, rook d8, rook d8, rook d8. Yeah, I'm gonna play rook d8. Well, look, if he plays something like b3, you know, being all solid, I'm going to play here, taking the king and forcing him to capture my rook. Then I'm going to play here with check. He has to leave the first rank. His only move to leave the first rank is king d2. I'm going to play here. Oh wait, he can block. Anyway, I explained you the plans, and it seems like they weren't right. Okay, so now, see, he put his rooks in a very, very, very passive position. The only thing they do, they start here. So if I go, remember what I told you? Rooks on the 2nd or 7th rank are the best. It's the best position for them. It just is. So if I go here, the thing is, in this position he can block and not allow me to capture anything. So it's probably a draw. But what is also a very important component of the endgames? The activity war king. So if there aren't many threats that can be created, we can bring our king up the board and use it to outmaneuver and outplay our opponent. We also have rook b8, then he's going to play probably b3. But at the moment I feel like king f8 is the better move, and it's something that Karpov would play, because he doesn't need to rush in this position. Yeah, it's kinda equal, if I'm not mistaken. But okay, let me see. So if I take, he has an open file. That's no good. If I go here, he captures. He also has an open file. If I go here, he goes here. Well, it turns out that my only choice now is to capture. So, yeah. So now he's probably better, because look at my pawn structure and look at his. So we're going to play here. As I said, rooks on the 2nd rank are the best. So he's probably going to like block. He's probably going to block. At which point I'm going to take. Yeah, see. Okay, let's take. Yeah, let's give a check. Let's go. Well, I don't know much about endgames. Go here, he goes here. You know what? Let's offer a draw. Oh, he declines the draw. Okay, well, that's a separate story. Okay, so if I... yeah. Okay, let's go here to cover our rank. b3. Okay, so let's run our king and activate it. So let's do the same. If I don't mess this up, it's probably a draw. Let's go here. I think he kind of messed up, or did he? I'm not sure. Check. Oh, he blocks. Now is the time for the calculation. Take. Here. Is this winning? Okay, so takes. I think I'm winning. Didn't he blunder? I'm just up a pawn now, no? See, it's all Karpovian style. It's not the fact that he messed up. Wait, takes, h5. No, it's winning. He's just winning. Thank you, Anatoly Karpov, for your style and for my win. Thank you very much. h2. Win. Check. Takes. Okay, so now we just have to technically outplay the guy. Let's go, I don't know, here. Give a check. You see now? Oh, he blocks. Oh, wait, actually. Okay, so he makes the queen. I take, go here, and win. Because now he has no chance. And I'm going to checkmate him. And you guys, if you're beginners, hope you know how it's done. Go here, use knight opposition, use our king, and he resigns. Bravo! Anatoly Karpov, спасибо большое, Anatoly Evgenich, which means thank you, Anatoly. Yeah, that wasn't the cleanest of games, but I tried to be restrictive. And if we briefly look through the game, see, this move was designed to pin the knight, to kind of make him less mobile. Wait, what? Oh, wait, what? I could have taken on f3? Oh, if queen takes. Oh, I calculated that. If gf3, queen h4. Yeah. Nah. Somehow missed that. Castles. Yeah, now he's better. You see, I made the correct choice here because the activity of the pieces is actually more important than your the pawn structure at the moment. So as you can see, this knight can't move. Everything in this position is kind of static. I mean, the bishop can only go like here and here, but in both places it doesn't have much of a role. Yes, c5. No, here I decided to be like more to make a waiting move, but it turns out that c5 wins. Well, not wins, but gives you an advantage. Wait, c5 if takes. c5. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Okay. So here I play c5. He could have played c4. Oh my gosh, but he missed it. See, that's the beauty of intermediate level chess. Takes. And we got to the same game, which is actually better for him. But he messed up. Then I messed up. And then it was completely equal, so my restrictive idea didn't work. And there I restricted him by not letting him approach with his king, and I think this was the moment where he messed up, because he has to go back now as my king covers these squares and my rook covers these squares, so he has to go back or block. So he decided to be active, and that's what killed him. Okay, anyway, that was a pretty fun game. Lots of blunders, lots of mistakes, but in the first series, in the first episode of the new series in the style of, we emerged victorious thanks to the magnificent style of Anatoly Karpov. It wasn't even it was a pretty bad game, but I strongly believe that Anatoly Karpov's games helped me to win today. Okay, so if you liked the video, leave a like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.